In today's review, I've got for y'all X-Men 97 Marvel's Cable. Cable from X-Men 97, the TV show from Disney Plus last year, the revival of the X-Men 97 series. I was at the Avengers Reserve store at downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort. I was looking, hopefully, for some of the Daredevil Born Again Marvel Legends figures for Daredevil and Punisher. But lo and behold, I saw they had a bunch of the X-Men 97 figures. Some of the recent ones with Logan, Emma Frost, and some of the other ones. And they had Cable. And I thought, you know what, looks pretty cool. So I picked it up, especially since I get a discount at the Avengers Reserve store at downtown Disney. So that was pretty cool to pick up. So you see, it's Cable from that show. He had a decent part in the show, season 1 of X-Men 97 last year. It was a really good show if you haven't seen it, by the way. It was a great revival of the classic 90 series. But here you have Cable, looking how Cable looks in most of his comic appearances. You know, the grayish white hair, muscle figure, the weaponry. The weapons are really cool. You see how he's got his big gun, a bazooka gun or whatever, smaller gun right here. Multiple arms you can use. He's got his Winter Soldier arm right there. Lots of cool stuff. Everything you need to make Cable Cable. And there's the artwork right there. Here's some additional artwork on the top. We got some of the other characters that are in this series, like Storm, Jubilee, Cyclops, Jean, and Morph. When I went to the store, I didn't see any Cyclops, Jean, Storm, but I did see some of the other ones. They had Jubilee, they had Morph, and they had Wolverine, but in his regular kind of clothing. And I've been seeing more of these X-Men 97 figures at the store. I saw a few of them over at Target the other day, including one that wasn't in the official X-Men 97 line. It was Storm in kind of her blackish, almost stripperish outfit. I don't know what to call it. So there's the front, got the back, more of another look at the figure. The camera would stop glaring. There you go. More of a look at Cable. And then some of the other figures that I mentioned that are in this wave. Logan, Wolverine, but in his normal kind of clothes that he'll wear casually in the show. Jubilee, which I did see when I was over there. You got Morph, Emma Frost. That was a hot-looking figure when I saw it, but I decided between the two I'd rather get Cable, more of an action-oriented character. Cable right there, and Marvel's Sunspot. Out of all these other ones, the only one the only two I'd be interested in are Emma Frost and Jubilee. The Wolverine one doesn't look too bad, but I already have a Wolverine that I'll show off in just a bit, so I don't really need another one before I get these other ones. It's from the other line, has some more of the characters I'd want to see. The only other X-Men 97 one that I have, like I mentioned, Wolverine. This is the opened box from that one. You'll see the artwork is different from both, from what characters that they have. This one for Wolverine, you see right here, it was part of the wave that had Magneto, Rogue, Gambit, another Storm, and Bishop. I never saw pretty much any of those other characters in any of the waves I saw. I guess I got a little unlucky because I would have liked to have gotten Gambit, Rogue, or Magneto. Hopefully they can reissue them, because those would be nice to have. See how the artwork's different for both of them, besides just your main character that you get in the figure, with some of the other stuff that you see in the various waves. Well, these X-Men 97 waves look really cool. Right now, of course, we're going to focus on Cable. So I'm going to open it up, and we'll see how cool and what features he has. So now I have Cable outside of the box, still in his protective covering. You'll see it's one of those boxes, unfortunately, where you got to kind of make a mess of it to get it open. That's why I prefer the Marvel Legends that have just the square box. It's a lot easier to open, and you can preserve it, and it makes it good for storage. Did my best to preserve it, though, so there's a last look at that box right there. Let's get it out of the way. But there's Cable in the protective covering. Thankfully, he doesn't come with any stupid wrist restraints to make it hard to take him out. So, just got to pull everything out of here. I think there are some restraints on his actual weapons, though, but we'll worry about that in a bit. Almost got him. There you go. Alright, so there's Cable outside of his, well, unrestrained. Got him in the hand now. See, the figure, it's got some good heft to it. That's what was nice about it. The fact that it's a bigger looking figure, because Cable is more of a bulky type person. But it's not like this was charged for, like, you know, $39.99. It was regular Marvel Legends standard price of $24, but I got a bit of a discount, so that made it a real bargain to get. But even though he's a bigger guy, the figure doesn't feel too heavy, which I don't consider that to be a bad thing. You know, he's still got some good girth to him, but it's not like super heavy or nothing like that. But you see, he's got the headset, he's got all the basic, he's got a great look to him. When you see that kind of scowl on his face, classic Cable type personality, whether it's the shows, comics, or the movies. The figure is really good in terms of his muscle build. Looks cool. It's not bad at all. The robot arm, the cyborg arm, Winter Soldier arm, whatever you want to call it. There's that there. So definitely a cool looking guy. What really adds to the look, though, of course, is his accessories. Comes with some extra weaponry. So a big gun, smaller gun, can even get some fire blaster action and get him some action dynamic poses with his enemies. Got the bigger gun right here. This one, let's see how easily it goes in. So you want to put this part right here, and then I think you would need to swap out the hands probably. Yeah, you need to swap out this hand. He comes with multiple hands. This hand is probably good for the gun thing. This one, closed fist, not so much. Let's pop that hand out. I need to get this open hand right here. Right hand. See if I can get it out. Or maybe it's the other way around, because this is almost like a trigger hand right here. Yeah, it's probably the other way around. So you would only go like this, I think. Oops. Alright, you would want to hold it like this, and then... Oh my god, why can't I do this? So you got him. Maybe it's a problem with the gun, because I don't know if these hands, I guess you want the open hand to be like holding it like this. So I guess you just need two open hands then, essentially. But this other hand is another kind of trigger one. I guess this actually works good for the smaller gun that he has. This hand right here. So this smaller gun, let's try that first and see how easy that goes in. So see, you got a smaller gun right here. This one a lot easier for just a classic kind of gun holding. So you just jam that in there. Perfect. So that's that smaller, oops. There you go. So there's that hand right there, hand with the gun. So that holds pretty well. It's this one that's a bit of a problem in terms of how he would hold it, because you gotta have it like this, and I guess you would just have to go like that. It's a nice gun. I'll figure out the best way to use it. Unfortunately, something that I noticed immediately when I took it out is that I don't really see an area where you can do like any kind of like weapon storage to like kind of put it in the back like that. That would be really nice to have, but there's no like tabs or anything that you can really hold that onto. That's unfortunate. So it's kind of all or nothing. And I don't think you can store this other gun anywhere either. So it's a little disappointing on two accounts. The fact that, at least from what I see, this can't really hold this gun too well, because this is the open hand, so it's got to go in there. Yeah. Let's see if I can figure this out. Can put this gun in the trigger hand, maybe. Doesn't fit all that well. All right, there you go. So I finally got this one in there. So that actually feels pretty firm. That's nice. So I guess if I really wanted to, I mean, you wouldn't really want to have it like this maybe, but if you had two guns like that, actually that does look kind of cool. So there you go. If you want to have both guns out, you would have to do it that way. Not the most practical way to have your weapons using them like that, especially this gun, but there you go. So you can't have two at once, so you just keep them in like that. The only other features it would come with, this comes with, is you can make it look like he's firing the weapons with kind of blaster effects. Just slide right in. This one right here. It's like kind of blocked off though. It's not going all the way in. That's really weird. This one really doesn't want to go all the way in. Let's try this one. This one looks easier. No, this one isn't great either. I wonder what's blocking it off, because I really cannot jam it. Oh, I think I know what it is. You have to just, maybe it's just this part? No, it's not. This is really weird. I've seen these before. I have an Iron Man that's kind of like this, where it's got repulsor effects. Oh, so it goes like this. There you go. Figured it might. Yeah, I guess that looks good. So you put it in like that. I was trying to put it in the other way. I guess that makes sense. So you do like that for this one. And then if I got to put this one back on, there you go. For some blaster type effects. This one I don't want to go in too well. Oh, they don't make it easy, do they? That's the problem. Now it's a little unbalanced in terms of him staying up when he's got this other big gun going on right here. And now that's the problem. The hand's coming out. There you go. So there's him with both blaster effects on and all the accessories you can come with. Not too bad. So there's your basic look at Cable and all the stuff he comes with. Cool looking figure, no doubt. I think for the most part, it's not too bad. Not super excited. I mean, it's not like I'm a huge fan of the character. I thought it just kind of looked cool, and it goes well with some other figures that I already have. Some size comparison time. Here he is with the only other X-Men 97 figure from the official line that I have, which is, I talked about before, Wolverine. Got this Wolverine a few months ago at Target. It was the first X-Men 97 figure I had seen this year. Really cool, classic suited Wolverine. But this is about showing size comparisons. That scales pretty well because Cable is a tall, big dude, and Wolverine definitely a bit smaller in size. Let's zoom in better. There we go. So there's a size comparison between those two. I think that size comparison works pretty well, not bad. So as it should, because these should be made to scale well with each other. So there's him with X-Men 97 Wolverine. But another fun comparison to do is Cable with Deadpool. Now, not X-Men 97 Deadpool. He hasn't appeared in the show, but here he is with last year's Marvel Legends Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. But any Deadpool is going to look like Deadpool unless they completely F up the look. But you see, I think that scale works pretty good as well. For the movie Deadpool, I don't have the Marvel Legends where it was Cable from Deadpool 2. That one is, I mean, they're not exactly producing those ones anymore. You'd have to get it off eBay. So that was another reason I got this, so I could at least have a Cable to go with this Deadpool. But that scale looks pretty nice. The size right there. So at least other Marvel Legends scale pretty well with this one here. Some other comparisons from the Deadpool movie family I thought would be cool to show off. I do have Domino from Deadpool 2. Let's see. Right here. So you see that scale is actually working not too bad either in terms of the height, the size, all of that. So that looks good as well. So you can have him with the other main guys from Deadpool 2. Even if it's not the movie version, but at least they still got the basic look down. And one more movie comparison, just for fun. I've got Cable, Deadpool, Domino, someone else from Deadpool 2, Colossus. You see Colossus, much bigger than all of these figures. And Cable, who is a big guy in himself. This one was not a, what was it, $24 selling price? I think this was like $40, but $39.99, which can be the price for some of these bigger figures. But you see, there's not really, even though Cable is a bigger guy, it's not so much to where this should have been $39 and this is $40, or this is $39 and this is $24, especially when this comes with way more accessories, so you get a little bit ripped off on that one. But that size scale works pretty well in terms of this is how big Colossus would be in the actual X-Men 97 universe. So that looks pretty good. So there you go, showing off Cable. Now, do I absolutely love the figure? I don't know if I love it. I guess it just has to do with Cable's not one of my, like, favorite characters. I just got it because I thought it looked cool, and it does look cool. Thought it could be a little better in some respects. I don't know. Maybe I just really wanted some better weapon storage for the backside. I don't really understand that. But in terms of the dynamic poses and some of the other stuff you can do, the weaponry that it comes with, once I figured out how to display it properly, that I don't mind too well. And I'm sure if you want to complete your X-Men 97 collection, kind of got to go with Cable, just because how he was a pretty big character by the time he got to the end of the show. I mean, just look at that right there. That does look pretty nice in terms of his head sculpt. Just look at the costume. Look at the weapons on those poses. All of that. Let's get one more shot with him and some of the others from the gang. We got Domino. We got Colossus. Let's actually throw in some X-Men 97 in there with Wolverine. Not too bad at all. So there's a happy bunch right there. Would like to get some others from this collection in terms of Gambit especially. I have not seen that one in the store. Rogue would be cool to have. Magneto. You got season 2 of the show coming out next year, so they should have some more of these coming out. But they did have some at the store when I went to Avengers Reserve, so I figured I might as well pick them up. So that'll do it, showing off Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cable. They took my money, this time in the form of Cable from that show, but overall I don't mind this figure too much. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.